do you think Man U stand any chance of tripping Man City up?
No lah.
Manchester United have ended City's long winning run.
Fulham are going down. I've never been more certain about anything in my life.
Salah is robbed and the shot into the bottom of the net from Mario Lemina.
Liverpool's historic 6 consecutive defeat at Anfield. Welcome everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything, but actually we know nothing. And this week we will be previewing 14 games, Matchweek 28, Matchweek 29. We are in the company today of Liverpool fan Imran, Chelsea fan Robin, Newcastle fan Manjun, I myself Mark, I'm a Fulham fan. So last week, of course, there were a few shock results, one of which, most notable shock result for our show. Two of these teams, we didn't actually say this was actually a big game. We didn't even give one of these teams any chance at all. All our pundits went one way on this. Both of these teams went into this game with historic streaks. Of course, I'm not referring to the Manchester derby. I'm referring to Liverpool's historic 6 defeat at Anfield, consecutive defeat at Anfield, and this time was to Fulham, who have now, actually this is probably the streak that you all aren't aware of, but we are now unbeaten away from home in 9 games. That's our longest streak away from home. Of course, for Liverpool, they are 8th in the table.
Yeah, the season's a write-off already.
Season's a write-off.
Nothing left.
Premier League season, maybe.
Yeah, Premier League season.
What do you think of the game then?
I think it's the same old. Like over the past few months, that's how Liverpool are. I don't think the defense is necessarily bad, but the attack is just like very blunt as usual. I don't know why. Yeah, like looking at the run of like the 6 consecutive losses, right? Actually, all of them are 1-0 losses. Most of them are 1-0 losses.
Most are, yeah.
So honestly, I don't think 1-0 is a very bad result for this defense.
It's not, but I mean, it also, how to say?
It's the new that I think that it's the new that's concerning.
Yeah.
Like whatever, like you concede 1 goal here and there, right, it's actually not very bad already for a makeshift defense. It's like every week you have a different centre back parry, and then you're just conceding 1 goal. But it's really just I really think it's the forward. I don't know what happened with the front three. I think it's sort of, you can like, if you watch the games every week, even before this, right, you can sort of see it coming. Like when you watch them play, it's always a very laborious win, right? But people will just say like, oh, never mind, like you champions mentality, whatever, you like scrape wins out, and you get a lot of goals here and there. It's not always from the front three. You get quite a lot of goals from Van Dijk. Yeah, when he was around, he was like the top scoring centre back in the league.
Of course, Nico Williams is not Trent, but even when Trent came on also, he seemed a lot of his deliveries weren't quite as good as before. As usual, I think one of the reasons why Trent didn't start also is that, a lot of the teams started, I guess, with Chelsea and Fulham also sort of copied, was the ball over the top on the left, and a lot of times on Liverpool's right, on our left. Yeah, a lot of times it caught out Nico Williams, caught out Trent, and it seemed to be a trick that, you knew it was coming, but yet Liverpool still ended up being tricked by it all the time. So it felt like, really, you are not going to change anything up, even though like this ball over the top on your right has happened so many times. So I mean, none of our the goals actually came from that in the end. But yeah, still a weakness that a lot of teams are able to exploit.
But that's the thing, I don't think we concede a lot from there also, even though it looks shaky, right? But I think no choice. That's just how Liverpool play. I think maybe now the only difference is that the attacking portion of Trent's game not working out so well. So after that, people will start questioning like, oh, is it worth giving him that much freedom to go forward anymore? Because they're not performing. But honestly, in terms of Robertson, I would say his defensive part aspect of the game is still there, and he's still playing quite well. He can still bring the ball forward quite well from his flank and all that. It's just that maybe there's lesser end products. You can say that his crossing not as good or whatever, but I think at the end of the day, it's also a bit because the front three are not firing very well, so his ball's also not really finding anyone. Like, you don't know, it's like a chicken and egg problem, right? You don't know, it's because the front three not scoring, that's why it made his ball look bad, or because his ball bad, then the front three bad.
Tactically, there is a bit of naivety or stubbornness from Klopp to not have a plan B. I think Steve McManaman said so quite clearly like, Liverpool's plan B is Liverpool's plan A, but with different players.
Okay.
And I agree with that statement, because if everybody knows the weakness now, right, shouldn't you naturally like sit a little bit deeper, sacrifice a bit of the pressing high up. You can press in the middle of the park, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it leaves the defense very, very exposed, and the centre backs are not as quick. They're not Van Dijk. Van Dijk can cover ground a lot quicker than the current centre backs that Liverpool have fit right now. They don't even have Joe Gomez, so it's a disaster, and they're finally paying for it, which is quite surprising also, because at the start of the season when Van Dijk first got injured, they managed to cope quite well. So now suddenly everything's collapsing. The weakness is finally showing, and people actually capitalizing on it. That we start to talk about Liverpool's frailties. But yeah, I think Klopp needs to be a bit more flexible, because clearly something's not working. Yeah, so I think the front three, maybe, I don't know if they're getting stale, together for 3 years playing the same football, or that teams just figure out how to defend now. Just sit deep in the box. Let the crosses come, and then you just deal with the crosses. Mane, Salah, Firmino are not the tallest players, although somehow they get their fair share of headers. But I think teams are now wise to the threats. So they just let them have the ball. If they have the ball, they cannot counter-press you, right? They cannot press you and counter-attack, can catch you out of position. So I think teams now just need to focus on counter-attacking Liverpool, which they have been, because the fullbacks are just grossly high up the pitch. Then just have good fit wingers and be clinical, then you should be able to win a 1-0 against Liverpool.
I'm not even sure Liverpool can Liverpool get themselves up for, like, maybe if you don't get Champions League, will the players be motivated to get a Europa League spot or not?
Probably not lah. At this point, you just like, I don't think it's about motivation. Of course, I think the players want to do well. It's just that it's like something went wrong, and then they just don't know how to fix it, and like they're not used to it. Like after playing so well for so long, it's like suddenly in their mind they'll probably be thinking like, we're doing the same thing, but why the results are different?
Just ride the wave until next year. Hope you don't get Europa, because not what if you need to go to Cyprus on a Thursday night. Who want to do that? You know what I mean? So I wouldn't recommend going for aiming for Europa League. I would recommend just throwing your whole youth team down there and just hope you get top 10.
So basically, just to tank this season and
just
then
tank the season.
See what you get.
What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean?
What's the worst that can happen is that maybe they drop below Arsenal.
小事啦, it's a small thing.
The worst is the good players leave because of the UCL.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the squad is due for a refresh. So I don't think a lot of the key players will leave. Maybe they will let one or two of them leave.
I'm just thinking like one of your 3 key men up front leave, then who is even good enough to replace?
Yeah. Honestly, I think after this season, I think one of them may leave.
Yeah.
It's like just to refresh the attack, right?
Like who is even an upgrade on Salah and Mane, to be honest?
Say they don't get Champions League football, I think it's hard to like get an upgrade on Mane or Salah.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's hard to get an upgrade on them anyway. So you sort of have to take a punt, like, on like Jota like that. It's sort of, is he better than Mane or Salah now? Probably not, but potentially maybe in the future he might be. So I think maybe they have to get another one, something like that maybe to compete with whoever of Mane and Salah remains.
You can look at the relegated clubs, the three clubs, and just buy off them. Brian Brewster.
Who would you buy?
I guess we can start with Liverpool's game. Wolves, I guess, in a very interesting position. They are sort of kingmakers in the last 10 games. They face either top 4 challengers or relegation fighting clubs. I guess the good thing for Liverpool is that this is away at Molineux, so they sort of get to go away from Anfield for a little while. Does that mean that Liverpool return to winning ways?
I don't know, but I have to say yes. No choice. I cannot keep losing. What the hell? You want to lose like how many games?
We can have a running reel of you saying this many times. But,
I think I say that every week.
You can make a song at the end of the week.
I think I said the same thing for the Fulham game. I was like, how many home games are going to lose? I already lose 5. I think Wolves, they were on a pretty good form, but I think recently they also sort of peaked already. It's like it's starting to come down a bit. Their last 3 games are like losses and draws. And and like you said, I don't think they have that as much motivation to play for anything anymore. It's more of for pride, right? I don't know, maybe they want to catch up to Arsenal. So.
The catch up to Arsenal race.
Yeah. I cannot laugh at Arsenal win one more game, right? They're like 2 points behind Liverpool. So like, dropping below them is a very serious issue. It's a very serious prospect now. So I'll back Liverpool. No choice. I need to back. Cannot. I mean, I don't know. I lost for words. It's like I don't know. You ask me for a reason why they will win. I don't know. I'll go for a 2-1.
If Liverpool play their three youngsters and Andy Robertson again, then I think Travis will have a good day. But then again, Wolves, I don't know, they rarely score. Who's going to score for them? Their strikers not going to score for them. William Jose, so it's going to be boring. Going to say 0-0.
I think it'll be a draw. Unfortunately, as much as I want Liverpool to win, because I feel so sorry for like
80
champions.
points.
No, because I mean they played so well last year. Like any neutral have to admire it. But this season, wow, based on current form, I don't see them winning. So I think it'll be a 1-1.
I will go 1-1. We'll go next to Liverpool's opponents from last week. Fulham, of course, now level on points with Brighton, now closer to safety already. Newcastle and Brighton. Newcastle and Brighton fans must be shitting themselves. Fulham are facing Manchester City, although Man City are now going in this with a defeat. Liverpool have started with one defeat at Anfield, and then suddenly it just went completely in disarray. Would it happen to Man City though?
Yeah, that's what everybody say when Liverpool lost their first home game.
I doubt so. I mean, you don't go on how many Matchweek unbeaten run, then suddenly you lose one game. It's not to say they play badly in that game against Man U. It's the typical Man U. They Man U will lose, but they will win the next game also. But maybe I'll say from the angle of Fulham, they'll be confident. They'll go to try to get a result against Man City. But okay, my heart says no, but my head says I think you all can get a draw. I go for 1-1 draw.
Okay, I can add a little bit more on the Fulham perspective. I think our defense actually played very well against Liverpool. Maybe you can say that means that Liverpool, were quite promising in attack, but I think we sort of let them on in the second half. I was a little bit disappointed with Scott Parker's substitutions. Very early on, he started making defensive subs already. But I guess, in a way, of course, in the end, he got the 1-0 result. So, credit to him. Yeah, I think against Man City, this is totally a free hit. To be honest, even if we get, of course, I don't want us to get trashed, because obviously goal difference is important, because it takes a lot of chances for us to score. Man City probably not as open as Liverpool at the back, so I'm going to go 2-0 Man City here.
I agree. I think I'll go exactly the same scoreline, 2-0 Man City.
I think maybe more. I feel like Man City, the sort of thing after they lose the next game, we just take it on the opposition. So always a chance of that happening. Considering that Man City has the best defense in the league, I don't think Fulham gonna score. So 3-0 3-0.
Oh yeah, I forgot that I predicted 7-0 for Man City game today, huh?
Yeah, correct. So
yeah, how can they beat Southampton 7-0 and end up drawing with Fulham? That's true, but whatever, I'll stick to it.
Okay, although you say that we have 5 clean sheets in the last 7, we actually have the second best defensive record the last 17 games, only behind Man City. So that's actually a surprise.
Wow.
Okay. No, Liverpool can't score again. Based on the last don't know how many games we have relegation form. So
3 straight wins at Manchester City. Ole is actually the first Manchester United manager to do that. Man U managed to extend their away unbeaten record now to 22 games. Man U, like Manjun pointed out, do have the knack of, after having a good result, suddenly they don't turn up the next week. Manchester United are against West Ham this week.
Same sentiment as Manjun. I think Man U is sort of like their wins against big team always a bit fluky on. It's just like, I don't know, maybe cause Man City attack them a lot and then give them chance to counter and all that. And it was a more open game. But I think against West Ham and David Moyes of all people.
That's true, former Man U manager.
Yeah, I think West Ham's run is based on more solid foundations. I think they will sit back and then they will defend. I think maybe a draw. I think it'll be 1-1.
Somehow, I feel that Man U is always been like a boogie team for West Ham. I don't know why. Like West Ham were in a good run of form, and suddenly they played at home to Man U and they got whacked. But I'm a bit more optimistic now because West Ham show that they can sustain some form. And if they play the way they play against Man City, against Man U, I think they can get a result, no issue. Because Man U's defense a bit risky. And also Man U has a Europa League game this week.
I think
so perhaps they could take a toll on them. Okay, I'm already on it already. Marcel, let's go all the way. 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah, as bullish as I am on West Ham, right? I think Man U is different. Like West Ham hasn't been able to beat the big teams so far. And I watched a bit of the first half against Leeds because it's immediately after Chelsea Everton, right? Yeah, they considered goals against Leeds, but disallowed for VAR. And if they have this kind of lapses, I don't see why Man U cannot smash them also lah. Plus, J Links is not eligible to play.
That's true.
Oh,
So-
damn, J Links. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a big loss because he's actually very important to West Ham's play right now. I think Man U will win 2-0 for this game.
Like you said, West Ham do have a knack of not, performing against big teams. West Ham have 8 wins in the last 11. The 3 games they dropped points were to Liverpool, Man City, and Fulham.
Fulham. You said Fulham.
Yeah.
Big team, bro. Big
0-0
team.
draw. Okay, anyway, I'm going to give West Ham a bit more credit here. I'll go 1-1 for this. Next up, West Ham are against Arsenal.
Is it possible West Ham winning Arsenal?
Possible, of course possible.
Sorry but Arsenal are a bit irrelevant now. Lah. I think the relevant one is West Ham. Lah. So it's whether Arsenal can beat West Ham or not. It's not about the other way.
Wow.
Fair enough.
No, did I go for it? I think I want a West Ham win. It's going to be quite fun.
He's now shifting his focus. If Liverpool was still in this top 4 race, he definitely want Arsenal to beat West Ham.
Yeah, at this point, how many points are we? 5 points behind West Ham with a game in hand for West Ham. What the hell? Maybe I think I should go for a draw. Because go for 2 draws, I think maybe 1 will hit. So go for 1-1 also.
Based on nothing. That's based because I'm on a bandwagon. Another 2-1 win for West Ham.
Oh, back-to-back wins for West Ham. I predicted a draw between those two. Okay, why not West Ham to beat Arsenal? West Ham 2-1.
Wow.
Let's go. Come on, the bandwagon. This one seems legit nowadays. It seems legit better than the Leeds one.
I feel like you should go the opposite of us because usually we get it wrong.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
That's
You're not
true.
very
Yeah,
good at
now
this,
when we are getting on the bandwagon, you should get off.
should go for the Aubameyang hat trick. Yeah.
Hey, he might now. Is Arsenal's that kind of team. Like they didn't play that well against Burnley. They could have lost, but then again they also could have won easily. So it's a very annoying team. West Ham's a different ball game compared to Burnley.
Team colour. Lah.
But very hard to say West Ham win also because after all Arsenal can perform. I think it'll be a draw lah. I think I'll go for 1-1.
So now it's finally time. I think a lot of Arsenal and Spurs fans will probably, if they're watching at this point in time, will be very unhappy that we're putting this 5th in the order. Arsenal face Spurs in the NLD. Does it really mean anything now? I don't know. I guess maybe Spurs are in the top 4 race. After a good 1 week, back-to-back wins. Now they're playing their attacking quartet. Bale, Lucas, Son, and Kane. Will they play the same 4 against Arsenal?
I think they have to. That's what's been working for them recently. It was sort of turn their form around, and they're on a 3 consecutive straight wins. I think they will win against Arsenal. I think Mourinho will be up to his usual shithousery. I don't know.
So it's going to be a shithousery thing.
Probably no.
He's good against Arsenal, man.
Yeah. He always does well against Arsenal. So I'll go for Tottenham win 2-1.
Gareth Bale is back, I guess you can say. 6 goals in 5 games for Gareth Bale already.
What's the formation they play now?
I still think 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, it's still 4-2-3-1. It's just that now instead of Bergwijn is Bale.
Oh, okay. Actually, Bergwijn always not clinical. It's like he bring the ball forward, a bit like Adama Traore. I think he dribble then to the corner there. Then maybe Klopp need to change it up like that. Play the front three, plus Diego Jota, then see how it goes. Put Firmino.
At the start of the season, that's sort of what you all did also, but that came on like maybe half the game. It wasn't like a full game kind of plan.
Yeah. By the time you're doing well, so whatever you do is you don't feel any impact. It's like, you from 4-3-3 you change to a 4-2-3-1, then it's like you're still continuing the same form and then not much difference.
So Robin, do you fear the Tottenham comeback? Maybe they might steal your top 4 spot.
Nah, they can steal West Ham's 5th, I think. Or Leicester might drop, Chelsea, okay, we'll get to Chelsea later. But let's talk about Spurs now. I need to control
myself. No choice, because they got the NLD,
Yeah.
So we got to put them in front of Chelsea. But yeah.
It's okay, yeah. I'll control my excitement, my optimism.
Okay.
But yeah, I think because it's Jose and Spurs have found a good time to pick up form, Bale probably decide to put down golf for a little while. I just don't see Arsenal winning. I think Spurs will win Arsenal pretty comfortably. I think it's 2-0.
Then again, their last 3 wins are against not very good sides. So we'll take that into consideration. But it makes no sense for Jose to throw out his big quartet for the 3 lowly teams. Think that he just change things during this game. Okay lah. Probably to make things more interesting. Yeah, I think it'll be the same. I think it'll be a Spurs win. Maybe go for high scoring game. It seems more fun. Go for 4-2. 4-2 Spurs.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Match of the week.
I mean, it's Arsenal, it's not Man City. So
Yeah,
there's
that's
no need
true.
to suddenly
Yeah.
be more
It's a
conservative.
meh, yeah.
Yeah. In terms of score, I'm going for a Spurs win also. Maybe 3-1. Spurs are in action again in midweek. They are away to Aston Villa.
I think Aston Villa also lao hong already.
Yeah, no Jack Grealish means no Aston Villa.
Well, Aston Villa have accomplished what they wanted to do already. They
Yeah.
pakang,
That's
eh.
true.
Yeah, I think they're done for this season. And
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an easy win for Spurs. I think 2-0.
Yeah, I don't believe in SM's defense. So I'll go for Spurs win also. I think 2-0.
I'm going to go Spurs win for this also. Wow, that will really put Spurs in like good form. Going to go Spurs 2-1 win over Villa.
Yeah, same. I also think 2-1.
Kelechi Iheanacho proved Manjun wrong. Manjun in the previous week, he said that Iheanacho is totally useless. Got 2 goals in 2 games. Like 8 goals or more.
It's the reverse side. They must score him online, then he will.
Maybe they watched as well. Yeah, walao.
But while Iheanacho is scoring Jamie Vardy 1 goal in 14 games, Leicester faced Sheffield United. You wanted to give a little bit of praise to David McGoldrick. I think this is the best time to do it.
I mean, when I watch like some of Sheffield's games, sometimes I do since I already pay for the cast. So,
So we watch Sheffield United.
I feel like everything relies on him. Like the ball goes to him so often that like he's the Ronaldo of Sheffield. Like everything goes. He's the number 10. He has to score. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot. Like the goal against Aston Villa, he was the creator. He was the scorer.
And he was the scorer also.
Yeah, he has to do everything for them. So props to him. I think he deserves better. If they get relegated, I think maybe
Newcastle can buy them.
no. He's always. I think how about somebody else? Maybe like a lower team. Like Burnley. It suits him. Burnley.
Oh yeah, possibly Burnley.
Like
Yeah,
Burnley,
be that
yeah.
kind of yeah.
Yeah, like a cheap
Who
1
suits
million.
Newcastle?
I saw you donating also can. But 40 million and 1 million. I think Leicester, the thing about Leicester, I feel that now they have 4 injuries. Leicester will script through 1-0 Leicester.
I think it'll be a small scoreline also, maybe a bit more than that. I would say Leicester 2-0.
Leicester will drop some points here.
Wow, Leicester at home against Sheffield United, but okay.
I feel like a draw is coming. Yeah, but Sheffield also don't draw. They either lose or they lose. I don't know.
They look bad. They win small. That's all.
Wow, shit, I wanted to go for a draw, but I thought I was seeing how. Yeah, like Sheffield no draws on it. They either I don't know if they're playing style or what. Do they just go for the win after they realize they're down? They just like fuck it.
I think they just lose a lot. They
Yeah, they don't really go for anything.
Yeah. When they start losing, then they lose it. So,
That's it.
there's no way back for Sheffield.
Yeah, I think 2-0 Leicester. Just
I'm
to
a
be
bit more
different.
optimistic. I'm more hopeful. I think this is where Vardy will score a few.
What a few.
It's just whether they can keep clean sheet or not.
Okay.
Why against
So David
McGoldrick?
McGoldrick was for.
David McGoldrick dangerous, yeah, that guy dangerous.
Against anyone, like they've struggled to keep clean sheet. Leicester, the past few games always concede 1. But let's be fully optimistic on Leicester in this match. I think they will show a good game. I think I'll go for 3-0.
I don't think many of us watched the Chelsea-Everton game, but that's why we have the Chelsea fan here. Sorry to disappoint the Chelsea fan. We go to Everton first. Everton faced Burnley.
Okay, I'll say how Everton did. They did very poorly. Yeah. They really showed nothing, very toothless up front. First half, they were completely not in the game at all. Second half, they tried to press, but Chelsea were too good on the day. So it was a little too late for Everton to try to turn up the tempo. Then when they tried to go all out more, when 2-0 down, they were so exposed at the back. They could have been 3-4-0 down. So it was a terrible game for Everton, but it could be a one-off against like a very informed Chelsea.
But they have this weird Everton
Mentality.
thing in them
Yeah.
where they just like some games they just don't bother showing up.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I agree.
Now they're playing at home, they better show up, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't show up for this game.
Yeah, doesn't even matter at home or away nowadays. It's like
I mean,
I know for some teams it doesn't matter anymore.
yeah, let's go straight for it. 2-0 Everton.
Yeah, I think Everton will bounce back, but not quite so convincingly. I think 1-0 Everton.
I think Burnley have a lot of draws, so like I think they may get a draw at Everton. I think 1-1.
Oh, I was very tempted to go 1-0, but let me be a bit different.
Sure.
I
That's
think
how you
Everton.
screw up your predictions.
It's fine.
The turning point.
It could be a screw up or a clutch play, bro. I think Everton should bounce back. I think they'll win 2-1.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah, I
expecting
was going for
maybe
Burnley wins,
win or
yeah.
something, but
Yeah.
okay.
No lah, no
Clutch
lah.
Burnley
It's a
win.
super clutch figure. That is the top pick of the year.
I can clutch the scoreline.
We've kept a lid on Robin's excitement for long enough already. I think it's time to let him loose. You know, Chelsea are away to Leeds. Thomas Tuchel now unbeaten in all his 11 games as Chelsea manager, 9 clean sheets or so. Definitely tightened Chelsea up a lot. How to say? He went for a little bit of a different system against Everton though.
Just different personnel lah. And yes, different system, especially with the front three, with Kai Havertz as the false nine, which was very scary, but thankfully he finally had a good game. Wow, incredible. Like, you don't know where the hell he has been over the past few months. Like, Frank Lampard clearly couldn't get the best out of him. Because this game, his movement was so good. He had a hand in both goals, and he could have had one himself, but it was a stupid handball. Werner, unfortunately, couldn't score, but he was very threatening as usual. Like, he's always been like that throughout the whole season, by his sheer pace lah. But his finishing worries me. He was really, really poor. He could have had
As
two.
usual.
Yeah, which is so.
It's always dangerous, and never score.
Yeah, his last minute, his shots are just very, very bad. So I think it's just a lack of confidence, which surprises me that he never take the penalty lah. Like, Jorginho keeps taking them, but I think all the fans want Timo Werner to just take the bloody penalty kick and just buff up his stats. I get a goal, have a feel of how is it like to celebrate. Yeah. Otherwise, defensively, crazy. It's rock solid. It's exactly what Chelsea should be. It's what we've been priding ourselves on, like, since the Abramovich money came in. So it's very, very good to see. It gives a lot of confidence to the rest of the team. So truly, you need to start to build from the back, which I think Lampard failed to do. And Tuchel and his coaching staff clearly set that as the priority. Stop leaking goals. Then we let the front do their thing. Yeah, so I'm very impressed with the defense. Like people like Rudiger, Christensen, even Marcus Alonso. Oh my God, everybody wrote him off. He's doing well. I'm so surprised.
No, but the thing is that, I mean, these are the same players that Conte managed to get a tune out of. You know, it's just that, okay, now they're 2 years older, you know, now suddenly, but it seems almost as if people are surprised that these are, actually, these are good players.
Yeah.
Correct,
Yeah.
Good all along. It's just different systems, I guess.
Yeah, correct. It's the system, no. That's why I was like, just trying, almost begging Lampard to just try the 3-4-3 a bit more frequently, but he's so stubborn. The 4 at the back, 4-3-3, it wasn't working out. Then now,
DC.
I thought it was me, sir.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I thought it was me also. Like, we all assumed that, oh shit, my collection gone.
Okay, let's go to the.
Okay, that's enough about Chelsea.
It's quite excited. The system's explode, I think. It's excitement, but okay.
Let's go for a commercial break. That'll be great. Why is DC so long?
Yeah, it's quite long. I think because...
Okay, you're
Hey,
back.
hello, hey, welcome back.
where was I?
I don't know where
it's
you
a
stopped
sign.
already.
It's a sign that I talk too much. So obviously, I'm very, very optimistic about Chelsea's chances to be in top 4 next season. I believe like with this management team, right? Next season, Chelsea will can.
Say wrong thing.
I think Chelsea cannot make it next season. He said wrong thing. That's wrong thing.
This is a sign, right? Yeah.
Optimism is too much.
Bandwidth couldn't take his optimism. Okay.
Okay. Since he's gone, here's a little trivia for you. I just found out.
Sure, why not?
Guess who is the shortest player in the league?
Ryan Fraser.
Ryan Fraser, Shaqiri, very close. Wait, so Shaqiri. Shaqiri is on the top 10 shortest player in the league. Ryan
Really?
Fraser is, yeah. Think about it.
Technical difficulties.
Really technical difficulties.
You play a
It's the
commercial.
true one.
Oh, Robin's back.
Hey, Bobby, you're back. Hey,
That's
so-
why I'm wondering why you
You
changed
can join us with Manjun's trivia.
Oh yeah, I was testing out a trivia. Who is the shortest player in the league?
What the hell?
He plays for Wolves, but he's injured now.
Wolves?
Yeah.
What I would have thought is Pedro Neto.
It's close to Pedro Neto.
Okay, it's wrong, so he disconnected again.
Oh. He can't say anything. Everything is a bet. Everything is. Yeah, he's Daniel Podence.
Oh, Daniel Podence is very short, man.
1.60 Short.
What
Oh
the
yeah,
hell?
that's quite short.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Yo. Yeah, but you missed the answer.
Walao. Yeah, I missed the answer.
Hey, yours was
Repeat again,
wrong
what's
one.
the answer?
Who is it? Is it Pedro Neto? No, right?
No, it's close. It's Daniel Podence.
1.6
Oh.
apparently.
Didn't know he's that short.
1.60 cm. Yeah, at meter. Yeah.
Huh. Wow, shit, we are taller than him.
See, honestly, you watch him in the game, he looks damn small, but okay.
Yeah, but like if you are so physically small, how you win all the battles? Yeah.
Because he damn fast, he damn skillful. That's why. So, oh well.
I always thought it was Ryan Fraser. He's quite short also.
Because
I always
he's
think
like he's 1.63, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay
I
lah.
think because he has no neck, that's why he looks small.
Oh my god.
I always thought Shaqiri very short. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shaqiri is short also.
Shaqiri like no neck also. So this kind of no
I
neck.
think Shaqiri around 6'5".
I think around there.
I just go for a Chelsea win straight up. 3-0.
Yeah, I
It's a good
also
chance.
think
Yeah.
3-0 Chelsea.
Go slightly lower lah. Go Chelsea 2-0.
Yeah, Chelsea hasn't been scoring a lot also. It's more about keeping clean sheets. I don't know. I think this
That's
confirm cannot win. They never win teams above them one.
I think this very settled already. They settled already. They stopped the game. They stopped playing it.
I don't think they stopped playing.
They
It's just
saved it. Don't need to do anything.
okay lah, 3-1 Leeds. I mean not Leeds. Chelsea.
Nice. Nice.
Well, I got a DC already.
Leeds have a second game. Leeds will be away to Fulham because any points here might take Fulham out of the bottom three.
Actually, now I look at it, right? It's true. Leeds just don't beat teams that are above them. Okay, based on that, just based on that. Okay, for the sake of it, I'll go for 1-0 Leeds win.
Okay. I guess for you, you definitely have to go 1-0 Leeds win.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say, right, of any of the corresponding fixtures when we were still very bad, we faced Leeds in the second game and we lost 4-3 lah, because that was a mad game. Actually, I think probably you can see the better, the change, the more contrast in improvement in this game compared to our corresponding fixture. I think we'll be more solid. I think actually we will probably win this. I would say Fulham to win 1-0.
No, I think Fulham is a good example. Scott Parker is a good example of how a coach can adapt his tactics. Like I think at the start you tried to play a bit more expansive and clearly backfired. It didn't work. Conceded a lot of goals, lost a lot of games. But now I think Fulham somehow have become much better defensively, and it's doing you guys well. I think you guys are poised to escape relegation. I don't want to jinx it, but I've already
still
said
10
it.
games to go lah. Yeah.
But I'm quite hopeful for
Crucially,
Fulham.
you didn't log off or disconnect after you said that, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think Fulham will win this. Just again, I think motivation will see you guys through and get you guys past the fatigue barrier in the games. And you all will take a lot of confidence from beating Liverpool for sure, regardless of what happens to City. I think Fulham will win 2-1.
No lah, I think Leeds will win. I think they're quite consistent against the teams below them. If not, they wouldn't be where they are, right? I think maybe the attack will be too much for... Yeah, I think it'll be too much for Fulham. I think it'll be maybe 2-0 Leeds.
Okay. I mean, we were talking about managers of the season. If end up, the top four becomes a normal top four and Fulham actually escape the bottom three, it could be Scott Parker. I mean, just throwing a name out there. Obviously, Fulham's recent form starting to get Newcastle a little bit concerned. We are going to have a Newcastle doubleheader next. Newcastle are at home to Aston Villa and then away to Brighton. Two very important games, two possible games you can win. Aston Villa without Jack Grealish and Brighton also in the relegation fight as well. That's a huge game. Of course, last time out, I guess you can say Steve Bruce won the battle of the obese managers.
Did he really? Okay, I guess. Given the kind of game plan he went into West Brom, it sounds like it. I feel that we're not strolling into relegation. We're just standing there, this kind of thing. At home against Villa, okay, I think at home against Villa, you'll probably try to go for it. I think it'll backfire. So I'm going to go for 2-0. Yeah, and I know faith in this team, but anyway. But I say this kind of thing, right? It's usually when they bounce back. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Villa win.
Okay.
Hint, bounce back right now.
Yeah.
And for the more important game against Brighton, I pray to God that Brighton just stays this shit for the rest of the season. Because I think Fulham will stay up. So it's only between Brighton, Newcastle, and Burnley. I don't think Burnley will go down. Because they're a piece of shit, but they always want to stay up. So, so boring team, but they want to stay up. Okay. They can join the medieval brothers Norwich City next season. Okay, then.
Well, that game I don't want to watch.
No, I don't watch Norwich against Burnley. Who want to watch that game next season? But I think we will sit back against Brighton. I cannot take it. I don't know why he would do that. Okay, it will be a 0-0 Brighton Newcastle 0-0. The story continues. The mystery continues. Who was there? So 0-0 Brighton Newcastle.
Actually, I think you're right. I think Newcastle will actually get something from this game against Villa. Because no Jack Grealish, we are not doing well. But I'm going to stop short of saying Newcastle will win this. I'm going to go 1-1 between Newcastle and Villa. Against Brighton.
So
Brighton haven't won a lot of games at home. I think it's time they do that. Brighton to win 1-0 against Newcastle.
Wow.
That seals it already.
That seals it.
That seals it already.
I actually think Newcastle may win against Aston Villa. I don't know why. I just feel like Aston Villa's form not very good. And it's like, now's a good time to play them. I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle. Against Brighton, I think it's going to be a draw. It's like the bottom fight and both sides don't really want to lose. I think it's going to be a 0-0 draw. Can Newcastle keep your clean sheet on or not?
Of course.
The new news,
Right,
right?
and the way they sit back, it better get clean sheet. It's either 0-0 or nothing, you know what I mean? The way we sit back.
I mean, no attackers, right? So
There's no attacker. I mean, we have a short park Ryan Fraser, but he does nothing. He's done. It feels like he hasn't played in 2 years. He just came back. I don't know why, but okay.
I think Villa will win Newcastle by a very narrow margin, 1-0. But against Brighton, Newcastle will win.
And
So
the
it's
way
a
we
toss.
you just say that, amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I think y'all will somehow counter attack and score 1.
Amazing.
So 1-0 for Newcastle.
I mean, you say that. I mean, most people win at Brighton.
Most people win, but most people don't lose to Sheffield United. But then again, no.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, after the game against Newcastle, maybe this is a possible game Brighton can pick up points also. They're away to Southampton, who last time out finally broke their losing streak. It's their first win in 10 games.
I don't think it'll be a string of wins for Southampton. I don't think they're good enough for that. I think Brighton due for a win. I think I'll go for a Brighton win. I think maybe 1-0 Brighton.
Sorry, I have to continue to curse them to lose until the end of season. So it'll be a 1-0 Southampton win. Yeah.
I mean, we can drag Southampton back into the relegation fight.
No, that's not important. Important is the one below. Southampton is too far away.
I think difficult. Especially they won last week. You would have needed them to continuously lose.
Yeah, I think Southampton will be. Yeah, I think not only Burnley and the rest of them.
But their team all still injured, right? Or players coming back already.
I think players starting to come back.
Yeah.
Southampton just got Danny Ings injured again.
Yeah,
never mind. They got Minamino. It's fine.
For this one, I think I'll go draw 1-1.
Yeah, same. I think Southampton, Brighton, draw 1-1. Ward-Prowse for a set piece.
I don't know.
Yeah, one more.
One more to go is Crystal Palace versus West Brom.
Yes.
I believe that Newcastle relegated West Brom last week. So
Wow.
in effect, if any chance of Big Sam coming back, right, this is a must win for West Brom.
Against Crystal Palace.
Zaha is back.
Then they are screwed, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, the corresponding fixture, West Brom got trashed 5-1 by Crystal Palace.
Oh, it was the red card one, right? Yeah.
Right, and Christian Benteke scored twice.
Based on that trashing, Crystal Palace will win, but maybe not so much. And Zaha's back. I think maybe 1-0.
This is a match to predict for fun. I believe Palace will show up and pretty much whack West Brom. Yeah. I think it'll be 3-1. Let's go.
This game doesn't matter to me. West Brom can get 3 points for all I care. Because I don't think
it doesn't matter anymore.
I don't think they can get 8 points out the rest of the season. So they can win 3-0 here. I don't care, but doubt so. I'm gonna be brave. I will go for a 0-0 scoreline.
Is that a brave scoreline? I'm not sure that's a brave scoreline. I thought you were going West Brom win or something.
Okay 2-0 West Brom lah.
Okay. I guess.
Zaha never said I can foresee. I think it needs to be like a 9-man Crystal Palace going to win 2-0, but maybe over.
Maybe. You know what? I'm going to go. I don't know if this is considered daring, but I'll use my 2-2 on this. 2-2 between Palace and
2-2 is
West
very
Brom.
daring. Since West Brom scored 2, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, so there was 14 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah, not
fast
very long.
actually.
Not very long. Quite fast.
Yeah, considering you got technical problems also.
Ah, shit, man. Yeah, I said.
Now I'm wondering how you
Lesson
did your live stream just now.
Yeah, dude, I also don't know, sir.
Maybe you didn't even live stream.
Oh, shit.
It might be just been you like the whole time.
Life is a lie.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Well, speaking of live stream, I saw your comments on TikTok regarding IU and the.
Bomb, right? Yeah.
I saw you commented on some guys TikTok. Yeah, I even don't like your comment. I don't know why lah.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Uncle Rolo that I click? I like the IU.
Yeah, big IU fan.
Yeah, man.
You never see all his social media all IU nowadays.
Yeah, otherwise, I mean, what else would I say? Yeah.
I think I know her album. I like right. I think I know the album. Thanks to
Yeah,
you.
shit, wow.
No, I don't know. I don't know she come out a new album, but okay.
Exactly. But shit lah, Spotify gone eh.
So now how you download the album like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I wait for
you can
YouTube
buy
or
you can
something.
buy like from like some other website.
Yeah lah,
Just
but I
download
don't
from
want to.
YouTube.
I don't want to buy.
YouTube MP3 converter.
Yeah, I still do that. I mean, not trying to encourage people to do illegal activities lah, but
Hey, you still get Spotify? Yeah?
No, I don't, unless you buy the Spotify premium, right? The free Spotify damn cui one.
Yeah.
I used it for like a few days. I couldn't take it. I can't even pick my own songs.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I got no song. I just like let it shuffle. I want to listen to new songs,
No, but the
Oh,
ads
okay
not
lah.
annoying, man.
But like if sometimes maybe you want to listen to certain songs, right? Wow, you need to like pray for the song. That kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like radio, right?
Yeah.
It's like radio.
Yeah, I felt like I was like living the 1930s or something like that. Okay, forget it. I'm not going to do this anymore.
Maybe we should make a podcast. Then people will listen to us when we go into work.
So yeah,
We'll
maybe
become
we
the
can do
next Joe Rogan. Maybe we don't have
Joe Rogan.
Like a football podcast. I think it's quite
David.
fun.
I don't know. What's his USP? I still don't see it. He just there like asking normal questions and then the guest. Maybe just he got good guests.
I mean, we were hoping to get Chris Mavinga on as a guest lah. Disappointed you, Chris.
Talk about his life.
Chris. Okay, and here's the last trivia question for you before.
Okay,
Who
sure.
is taller, Aaron Lennon or Christian Atsu?
I don't even know.
If you never know who's Christian Atsu,
I don't have no idea.
taller?
Chelsea to Newcastle.
I
I feel like it's a trick question. Scully is.
Yeah, it's a trick question. You're going to say it's Christian Atsu, is it?
Yeah.
it's a legit question. Who is taller, Aaron Lennon or Christian Atsu?
Okay, I
No,
feel
I'm
like
just going to
Atsu
go
is
for the
taller.
gamble. Atsu.
Yeah, because I think Aaron Lennon is damn short.
Yeah, this is the trick question because they are both same height, so they are both 1.65.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's our show for today. Okay, coming next week.
And I think maybe next week we'll be coming back with an actual game show. Who knows? Maybe that's something you can look forward to. In the meantime, thanks again for watching all the way through to the end. Hopefully you will enjoy Matchweek 28 and 29. Even though we know nothing, hopefully today you learn something. See you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.